Hello, I'm Brigantia Blackbird of Blackbird's Brew. Happy Friday and welcome to the Pagan Housewife. We are talking about the vegetable patch today. Vegetables are magical, but sadly they are often overlooked in the magical household and aren't often talked about in magical practice. I think it's time for that to change. We can learn to see beyond the merely utilitarian side of growing, cooking, and eating vegetables. There's much more to explore. But, admittedly, tracking down the information about the magical characteristics of vegetables is a bit harder than when we are researching our herbs. But let's not let that get in the way. We could even go so far as to get ourselves a notebook that is dedicated to the vegetables, make a proper study, especially of the ones we regularly cook with, experiment with their magical properties, record what has worked and what hasn't. Now, when we are growing the vegetables, of course, not all are created equal when it comes to what their ideal growing conditions are and how difficult or easy it is to keep them alive. If you have space for it, it may be wise to have one area for the veggies that love the sun and another one for the vegetables. Good God, I can talk, I just need more tea. But have another spot for the vegetables that prefer a bit of shade. If that isn't an option, then of course the most sensible thing to do is not to fight our circumstances, but to choose to grow things that are suitable for the environment we can provide for them. So when you're looking up information, please keep this practicality in mind. There's actually a lot of folk wisdom when it comes to, when, where, how to plant, what kind of companion plants grow very nicely together and kind of feed their own growth processes and nurture each other. There are plenty of blogs and books and videos on this topic, and they're not pagan-centric, but it's still very useful information and wisdom for anyone who's attempting to grow vegetables, and there's no reason to discard their knowledge. We have every motivation to seek it out so we can be successful. And of course, we can also petition agricultural deities to help lend their strength to our vegetable patch as another step that we take to improve our odds for success. Now, I don't always succeed, but I try not to make videos that just have lists and lists and lists of correspondences. It's not an effective way to communicate about this kind of thing. It soon becomes very tedious, and I think it's unlikely that people retain the information, especially if you're just talking it at them. However, there are a few things I do want to mention to try and open our minds about overlooked possibilities. So let's take a look at just 5 vegetables that we commonly find in salads. To begin with, lettuce. It is associated with the moon and the elements of water and air, and its uses can relate to sleep, rest, and oddly enough, sexual stamina. So make of that what you will. Then we have the tomato. Yes, I know this is technically a fruit, but we treat it as a vegetable. Let's not get bogged down. But tomatoes are associated with the planet Venus and the element of water. They are good for uses in protection, warding, health, money, luck, love, and for reasons that I have yet to discover, werewolves. So okie dokie then. Then we have carrots associated with the planet Mars and the fire element. They are useful in banishing, clarity, vision, fertility, and sex. Then cucumbers associated with the moon and the water element, good for fertility and healing. And bell peppers associated with the planet Mars, the fire element, and good for prosperity, security, strength, and energy. So if we look at these common components of a salad, we look at all kinds of energy that we can tap into to enhance fertility, to put a spark back into our love lives, and to strengthen life at home in general. Or we could otherwise choose to focus on activating the energy of just one of the vegetables and focus on another unrelated intention. We have a lot of options, and this is just 5 things with not a whole lot of detailed information about, but it is options nonetheless, and there's no sense in letting the properties of the veggies go to waste, especially if kitchen craft is really your thing. Now, whether we're growing vegetables for fresh salads or preserving them for winter soups or just like to do a lot of cooking with vegetables in general, this is an opportunity to expand the scope of our kitchen magic, as well as a chance to get into the habit of eating more vegetables in general, which, especially in America, pretty much all of us could stand to do more of that. Now, this year for the vegetables, I don't have a super large space to work with, and it's in full sun. I'll have to keep you posted about my own efforts and how it works out, what we end up growing, and what does well and what doesn't. Obviously, the small little patch of land that I have to work with at the moment, it's not going to take care of all of our household's vegetable needs, let alone all of our food needs, but it will help. It makes us a trifle more independent, it's a good experience, and that's not nothing. I'd also love to hear about and to hopefully see pictures of how your own vegetables grow this year, as well as any insights you glean if you use them magically in your cooking. And over time, who knows what all of us together will be able to contribute to a growing body of modern magical lore. So I hope you will come see us at Blackbird's Brew on Discord to share your successes and failures about what you've learned. Be part of the conversation and part of the brainstorming as we all learn how to better utilize vegetables in our practice. If you're not already part of our Discord group, there's a link to join in the description box below, and it has a link to all of my other social media where you can find me, and including an email address in case you want to talk one-on-one about anything. You're very welcome to reach out and do that. And of course, you could always leave your thoughts in the comments in the comment section below, whatever you'd like to do. I think that's it for now, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.